What's up, guys? Bonafide Hustler here. I am coming to you live from what day is it? Is it Monday or Tuesday? It's a Tuesday evening, coming to you live from Austin, Texas. It's about 100 degrees outside. I did want to do a show, and I wanted to start something. I do the garage sale tutorial kind of show on Thursdays or Fridays, and I wanted to do something a little bit more interesting as well, which would be 12 items that sold for good cash, and this is part one. Now, on these shows, what I do is I go back, all right? We go back in time, and we fish out pictures, because one of the best things that I've done, with the exception of maybe one cell phone or maybe the very first camera that I ever owned when it came to reselling, was that I kept all the pictures. All right, so that's real good. That means one thing, and I have a really, really good memory as well. So my memory is I wouldn't say it's the photo, what do you call it? Not photogenic, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Where you you remember certain things based upon the photos, you remember where you got the item. And so my memory is real good, and I have probably hundreds of thousands of pictures. I've smoked up about 2 hard drives, and I've gone through like 6 cameras or something crazy like that. No, maybe like 3 cameras and like 4 or 5 cell phones. But the first camera was never found. Anyway, so we got 20 live viewers. Thank you so much. The goal of this show is to go back in time and show you guys through my pictures, like why I pulled the trigger, the circumstances that surrounded the item, where I remember selling it, and kind of what I remember selling it for. But that way, when you come in contact with the item or something like that, and these are very diverse items, guys, that you guys will have the confidence that I had to pull the trigger, and we can learn from my mistakes as well. So photographic, yeah, photographic. I don't know, photogenic. Anyway, photographic memory. So it's good to see everybody. We have Brian Huntsman. We got Daniel Fagan. Clearing clutter for clarity. That's a great name. Yeah, clearing clutter for clarity. Someone remind me to talk about that one day. Not right now, but I almost had a bona fide meltdown, let's say 4 months ago or maybe 5 months ago. But your name right there, clearing clutter for clarity, kind of speaks volumes as to what I went through. So, okay, so Pola Sheck, what's going on? New to you, CT, what's up, Bonafide? It's good to see everybody. Look, it's going to be a pretty informative show. Don't know if it's going to be 30 minutes or an hour, but there's going to be a little bit of time for some questions and this and that. So, hit the like button if you can. I would greatly appreciate that. Hello from Florida, Nikki Gardner. Man, something is like super itchy on my nose. I don't know what the deal is. I put on the shirt, and ever since I put on the shirt, my nose has been really itchy. I have no idea what's going on. All right, let's get into the screen share. So I want to make sure that I sound good, right? Let's make sure I sound good. So you guys got to help me out real quick. Go ahead and do that. Make sure I sound good, guys. All right, and Latvia, man, we got some faraway people here. Raken promised me to say hello on his next vid. Cool. Yes, Raken is my he's one of the partners of the green room. So yes, very cool. Hi from Florida, also Megan Bush. Okay. I guess it sounds good, right? Polashek, sounds good from one person. Singing A flat. No, I can't. Brian Huntsman. Okay, so I have a comment feed right there. If you're watching this right now and it says the little live button on there, it's a little red button, then it's live and you can talk to me through comments live. But make remarks. You see the items, make remarks. Would you have hustled it if you didn't know that it had that kind of a resale or whatever? Just let me know too. But I think one out of these items, wasn't quite a failure, but it was, where I put it was the ultimate place where it could have sold. But we'll get to that item. You'll see. Let me go through the screen share right now. Thanks, Smoking Deals. I really appreciate it, guys. And we'll go to the screen share, which is here. Tell me if you guys can see what I am looking at right now. Can you guys see this on the screen? What can you guys see? What is this? Once we get to here, then we can start rifling through the slideshow, and I can kind of tell you the story behind everything. You guys see it? This is stuff from 2013, so it's not exactly too far back. I really want to start this show with pictures from 07 or 08 or something like that, or maybe even before. But like I said, the first camera kind of got destroyed, or I couldn't find the stuff from the first camera that I ever started hustling with. So, now that I think about it, it was a Canon ELPH with a really small screen. And my parents live in a very, very, very nice zip code in California. I left it in the van. I was driving a minivan back then. It was a company car, and I left it in there along with, not my wallet, it was just the camera and a couple other stupid things, but it was in the glove compartment, and we left the doors open because we came back from surfing, left the doors open, and then we had dinner, and I was like, oh man, I was like, I think I left the doors open in my van. Let me go get my camera. So I go out there and the camera was gone. Like literally in like, you know, not to brag or boast, but my parents live in probably one of the most 10 like best zip codes in America, and the camera was gone. And along were some of the photos from the very first hustling kind of stuff back in the day. So anyway, okay, so let's talk about this right here. I actually just sent one of these off the other day too. So this is a camcorder that you guys are seeing in the picture, okay? And this is a Sony Handycam. Now this one is the model. It's more than likely a high 8 once I get kind of closer to it. Well, I know it's a high 8 just by looking at it. Because I really don't mess up. I don't mess with normal 8s. So this is a high 8 camcorder by Sony, and this is just me putting pictures on eBay of, you know, the menu, that it works and everything like that. Now, if you guys can see anything funny about this one was the mistake. This one was definitely a mistake. I still made good money on it, but can you guys see what's wrong in the pictures? What is wrong with this picture, guys? Take a guess. It's very, very obvious. Well, I would say now that I remember what went on, it's a little obvious. But what do you guys think is, yeah, what's definitely wrong with this camera right now in this picture? I'm gonna give a couple seconds, and I'll let you guys guess, and then I will tell you what's up. All right, so there's one picture. Here's the other one. You really can't tell from this picture what's wrong. You definitely can't tell from this picture what's wrong. But from this picture, you can tell. So what is it? Tell me. All right, so that's a good guess. Clearing clutter for clarity. I'll tell you what was wrong with this camcorder, and here is why you never want to buy things for, you know, you really want to buy, you ever hear about that buy low, sell high kind of stuff? I mean, you really have to go crazy, buy low, sell high, and buy super low, buy bona fide low, because things can happen. Now, if you're dealing with a Sony high 8 camcorder, such as the one pictured, there's still resale in broken cameras, okay? Broken, untested, or 4 parts not working. You can still sell this on eBay. That's exactly how I sold this one. Take a look right on the screen, and then look at the lens cap. Do you see what I'm saying? It has a record button. See, I press the record button. The lens cap is off, and it's a black screen. Do you guys see now? So that shouldn't be happening. So that was the issue with this one, is there was some sort of like video feed issue to this to the screen that's opened. Yeah. So anyway, the door that you see above the tape, I don't know if you can see my mouse going around. Probably can't, but if you can, that's even better. But let me know if you can. I don't think you'll be able to see my mouse pointing all over the place. But there is a door open. That's where the tape goes in and out. Of course, I showed on this next picture, hold on, that the tape can go in and out perfectly fine. So that's one thing that you want to show. All right. And then I showed the tape mechanism right there. And, you know, a buyer can look at whether it's dirty or dusty, and that might be a, you know, one of those things, because like I said, you can sell it for parts broken, and people just take these things apart and fix other ones that are broken with it. So right there, that's what's going on with that. Okay. Are you seeing me rifle through the pictures? All right. Are you seeing a different picture right now? Tell me what you see on this picture right here. What do you guys see right here? What do you think this is? What's up, old school Ace? Good to see you. And you can see the pointer. Okay, so you can see my mouse pointer. Good. So sell it as parts broken. That last camcorder, by the way, guys, which is this one right here, this one sold for about I think 64 or 57.99 ish. I bought it like $5 at a garage sale. Okay, so $5 at a garage sale. There you go. It had the wires with it and everything. But, you know, when you have this issue, still I'm making money. But if it had worked perfectly fine, then I would have been able to sell this thing for over 100 on FBA, or probably close to 100 on eBay. All right, so right here we have a Shimano 600 derailleur. This is a short cage rear derailleur, or basically it's a road bike rear derailleur. They're all short caged, but anyway, this is the mechanism that is tied to the front shifter. Okay, so the front shifter of a road bike has a little wire that comes out of it, goes through a little wire housing thing down to this thing, which is on the rear wheel. And this thing guides the chain with a spring that's inside of it up and down the gear set, which is attached to the rear wheel. As you can see, let me see if I can get a picture of the spring. All right, so let me just show you what's really important when you deal with derailleurs. First of all, it's in its compressed state. If you can get a chance to expand it and you can show the spring, that's cool. But in these pictures, I only pulled certain pictures from the listings that I'd made. This one right here likely sold for $25 to $29. And I'm taking very high-res pics of you know, the pulleys, making sure that everything looks good. I'm making sure that you know, if any kind of grease was on it, I take all that off. You're going to be able to find these things in garage sales, guys. And Shimano 600 was very popular stuff in the road bike days, the vintage road bike days. It was basically, if you had a bike that had full Shimano 600 on it, you know, from the brakes down to the brake calipers, down to the derailleurs, front and rear, I mean, down to the hubs. I mean, you were really, you know, it's all a matching set. So, you know, someone's vintage bike that might have had one of these busted, or maybe they just love the way this thing shifted. Now they're looking for one, and they'd pay, you know, probably anywhere between 24 and 30 bucks on it. And that's why I sold this one. Underneath the derailleur, there's always going to be a code from Shimano. Right here, it says, I think, BD8401. You type it into Google, and it'll just say, you know, they just want to know the coding of it, because, you know, there's a certain, there are many years that Shimano 600 was kind of like the lead group set to put on a bike. And so you kind of want matching things when you go from the brakes down to the hubs, down to whatever. You kind of want it to be not matching numbers, but, you know, you want it to be of the matching series. And the matching series would have the Shimano 600 with these three little characters right here and these colors. And anyway, so interesting thing, you know, I likely picked this up from a garage sale for like $1, maybe less, and often went to eBay for 25 to 30 bucks. So that's what we got right there. Let me answer some questions right here. Do I ever have problems with electronics getting returned to FBA? This is from Jason Medina. Yes, I do. In fact, I took a return the other day that was almost $400 for a Marantz amplifier. And yeah, I'm still waiting to hear back on, you know, what's going on with that. So it hasn't shown up in my return feed, but I'll see, you know, if it's still in saleable condition, which I don't know how they're going to determine that, because I sent it in used, but very good condition anyway. So we'll figure that out. If I have to get it sent back to me, it's not a huge deal, because it still has a really, really good resale. Old School Ace, what's up, Chris? It's good to see you. What's up, Diecast Boy? And Thriftology saying, I have a lot of bikers in my city. Guys, I'm telling you, if you have a lot of bikers in your city, make sure you check out my guide, Bikes to Bucks. We'll be doing a bike show at some point this week as well to help you guys out. And I'll definitely put a little bit of a discount code on the guide so it can help you guys out as well. Nikki Garner, I would totally look over that at the yard sale. I know nothing about bike parts. Look, Nikki Gardner, if I can give you a bit of advice, start with something basic, right? And here's Shimano 600. So anything Shimano 600 that you see for dirt cheap, I'd pick it up. Doesn't matter if it's hubs, brake levers, whatever. I'd pick it up, especially if you start finding an intact set. It's usually in a plastic bag or a box, and it just means that somebody replaced the whole group set of a bike with, you know, something a little bit more current day. Shimano 600, if you start finding it with everything, down to the front derailleur, the hubs, the brakes, the brake calipers, if you start finding a full set plus the cranks, I mean, you could be up in the 150 to 200 for everything in that entire lot very, very quickly. So just so you know. Andrew Alvis Joy. Cool. Okay, so are you guys liking this so far? Let me know if this type of show is something that you can learn from. Here is a 1966 Ford Mustang hardtop AMT. You're going to probably see these things in Goodwills and at garage sales and this and that. The reason why I popped on this one, I believe from a Goodwill, I want to say it was $4, if I'm not mistaken. And, or no, maybe it was $1 at a garage sale, because I know if it was a Goodwill, I would have opened it and I would have seen this, so I wouldn't have bought it. But it was probably $1 at a garage sale, this thing, right? And I opened it and it looked like this, okay? So it looks like this, you know, it's probably all there, but we're not 100% sure. I see decals up here, all right? We know those are the decals. I think there's an instruction booklet underneath all this. Most of the stuff looks like it's attached, but it has been attempted, as we can see with the lead body right here. It's been attempted a little bit. You definitely don't want to mess around with these if there's a whole lot of loose pieces. But when the pieces are unpunched and they're still in their things like this, as we know that there's some pieces that have been punched out, as you can see in this one rectangle at the bottom left, you know, some things have been punched out. So anyway, yeah, I would definitely, you know, get skeptical. But if you get it at a garage sale for $1 or something like that, you could attempt to throw it on eBay for 20 plus. This one actually sold in my antique booth for about 16. So that's the advantages of having a booth sometimes, is you might be thinking, you know, but it's just a model made by AMT Ertl. Like, it's not exactly super vintage. It's not old. It's not that, guys. It's the car. The car is a cult following type car. And so someone out there might be like bored out of their mind. They might have some tester's glue and some paint, they'd be like, the hell with it, man. I just want to build this thing and see if it's complete. I'll try, you know? So there you go. That's that right there. I have the antique booth, a little bit of an edge when it comes to these models for me. I can pop on them really low, borderline, you know, it can look like this, and I can be like, I'm not counting all the pieces, I don't care. And then I'll throw it right to my antique booth. So that's not the only models. I wouldn't say always sell in my booth, but they're not, you know, how do I say it? They're not a fast seller. But anytime I've had a model down there, whether it be a plane or a World War II aircraft or whatever, I mean, it sells pretty well. It's usually, I don't have a single model in my booth right now just because they've all sold. So anyway, so Who Be the Real, I put those in my booth. That's right. Here's a question from Thriftology. Is there a certain number Shimano that is crap that we should leave behind? Look, Shimano is one of the lead bicycle component making brands out there. All right. And this is considered vintage or retro Shimano. So you'd have to be kind of a bike nut to really know, I guess. But for the most point, I wouldn't, you know, if you see Shimano 600, anything that's Shimano 600 will be stamped Shimano 600 on the side. And you can see it in these pictures, it says Shimano 600. So anytime you see Shimano 600, that's really decent stuff. When you start seeing Shimano for mountain bikes, it would be like maybe XTR or XT. Those are real good too. I mentioned that all this stuff in my guide, by the way. But Shimano 600 is really good. And then if you see one called Shimano Dura Ace, then that's really good too. It's a lot of stuff to take in. I understand, guys, but I mean, I don't know how else to break it down in a simple, super simple form because I am so passionate about it. But it is kind of, I guess it could be a daunting thing if you're not totally into it. Let me stop the screen share for 1 second. It's good to see everybody again. You guys having fun with this show? Let me know. You know, I thought, what better way than to go back, you know, and look at my photos and teach through that way, like, you know, some of the mistakes and mostly triumphs that I've been messing with for like the past forever. You know, I've been thrifting, or I've been hustling for 11, probably going on 12 years now. And I probably have pictures for at least 8 of those 12 years, maybe a little bit longer than that. But, you know, that's definitely things that you can learn by. It's not like, because I hustled something in the past, it's not worth anything now. You know, there are some of those cases, right? But there's a lot to learn from pictures. There's a whole lot to learn from pictures, especially when someone that cares about it is telling you guys about it, you know? So Darren Eckelman, the Bonafide Hustler Posse Brigade here. Thanks. Got to get a booth this fall. You know, if I can give you any advice to getting a booth, it would be to scout the mall, scout all malls. And then once you scout the malls, figure out which one has the most traffic or which ones have a lot of traffic. And then you want to observe the traffic, see if the traffic's buying stuff. That's very important, right? If it's old people traffic, you don't want to mess with that because they're just going to kind of put around and probably never buy anything. If it's people like me, you know, or if it's people that care about individuality and like standing out and wearing cool clothes and lumberjack shoes, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. Then now you're talking, you know, about people that are looking for one-off kind of things. Younger people typically will have a little bit more disposable income. So you want to look out for those kind of signs. So take time, you know, take time to pick out your booth accordingly. Okay, so let's go back into the screen share. What's up, John Hardesty? I hope you like that hat I sent you the other day. If you watched the Bonafide Hustler videos from Sunday, there was one hat that I bought along in the Jameson ride along. It said Pecker Power on there, and I sent it off to John Hardesty right there. So there you go. You know, Green Room family. We're one big family, and you know, it's like, yeah, I could have made money on that hat, but at the same time, John Hardesty showed me that he really wanted it, so I just sent it to him. Orange Elephant, is Bonafide Live coming back? Where's the whiteboard? Whiteboard will come back one day. Thanks, Brock. It's good to see you, man. Okay, so let's get back into the screen share. Let's learn some more stuff, guys. Okay, so that's taking care of that. Okay, now we're here on the next item. You might be thinking, okay, old boots, I don't care. Look, the brand is good, okay? The brand is good. And these aren't just some normal hiking boots. They're a little bit different. So first of all, these are Merrell's. And there you go. So that's Merrell's. Hopefully you can see my mouse. Let me know if you can see my mouse again. Just want to make sure. So we have a Merrell hiking boot. Notice on the side of hiking boots, a lot of the current day ones, they're going to have some sort of thing dictating whether it's waterproof or not. So this one clearly is waterproof, but other ones might call it like Clima Shield or Keen Dry or Gore-Tex. There might be a different stamp, but when a boot is waterproof, typically they are going to say it on the side somewhere. So here we know it's a Merrell, hiking boot. It's waterproof. You might be thinking, I would never pop on this. This came from a garage sale. I think it was like $5, right? I mean, really, you might be like, okay, I would never pop on this. Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, so Merrell's a good brand. All right. First of all, so that's check on hiking boots. Second thing is it's waterproof. So now you got a little bit more money. Third, which is kind of interesting, and you'll only know by this next picture. So first of all, and look, third, it's nubs on nubs. I don't know if you can see my pointer, but we are talking, there's some nubs on nubs. I mean, these are the original nubbies sitting right there. Let's look at another picture. See, we have some of the nubs on the other nub. That's what Bonafide calls nubs on nubs. Check out the nubs on nubs right here. Look at this. You see all this? That's the nubs on the nubs itself. That's a very good sign. Now, here is what we got. This is the other part that makes it really good. Now it becomes not only a hiking boot, but almost a winter boot as well, okay? So the way I know this is because it has Polar Tech insulation, which I believe 3M makes this, if I'm not mistaken, or 3M Thinsulate. Either way, 3M, the company, makes this stuff, and it's 200 grams insulation, right? I mean, you can go up to like 4. I don't know if there's anything more than 4. There might be more, maybe 650 or something. But 200 grams of insulation is going to be pretty warm, right? But a 400 gram insulation, now you're talking like hiking boot hunting. You can do all kinds of trekking with it and all that kind of stuff. So now we're talking not just a hiking boot, guys. We're talking about, a waterproof, okay, hiking boot that is insulated. All right. So it's insulated against cold weather. So there you go. Now that's like trifecta coming together. And this boot sold for about $67.99. Not a bad little flip right there. Let's talk about the next thing down here. Hopefully you guys are learning something. What do you guys think this? Oh, shoot. I think I probably gave it away. All right. So we know what kind of shoe this is, right? Now, what's the style of this kind of shoe? Someone tell me real quick. What's the style? What can you guys tell me about the style? I'm waiting. Can you guys see it? Okay, so they're Chucks, yes. What would you call this? Tie-dye? Yep. What else? Okay, so I want you to take a look at this. Hold on, let me get back here. I want you to take a look at this bare tongue thing. Now, what does that tell you? So definitely tie-dye, right? Chucks. Now we're talking 60s or 70s, hippie. That's right, rainbow. So I'll tell you what these are actually. Anytime you see Chucks that are wild, usually if they're not a terrible amount of money, then I would pop on it. So these are actually Grateful Dead Converse. Yeah, that's right, Deadhead. There you go. So Kent Daigle got it right. So it's Grateful Dead Converse. Yeah, and this is after I cleaned it all up. I had some scuffing on it. And if you take Barkeeper's Friend, which looks like cocaine, like Scarface cocaine, like real cocaine, like the drug, and you put it with water and you scrub the side of the shoe, you start getting it nice and white, right? Looks really good. And this is after me scrubbing it. I guess I couldn't get that one part right there on the left next to my hand, but it's still pretty good for Converse. So yeah, Grateful Dead Converse. These sold in the vicinity of $60 to $70. I paid like $11 for these at a Goodwill. So there you go. Pretty cool, huh? Very nice find right there. Too bad it wasn't my size. I definitely would have kept these because they are pretty cool. And plus, I live in Austin, Texas, and yes, a lot of people here would appreciate these shoes. And yes, a lot of people here do drugs. And so, you know what? It could probably be double appreciated from all those other people too. So very cool. Going to the comments real quick. Oh, sweet dude, money is what they are. Psychedelic man. Yeah, the cocaine we know. Blah, 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 blah. Grateful Dead, Wisconsin Thrift. Good guess, guys. Trippy, that's right. Galactic, yeah. So one of the things that you guys have to do, guys, okay? Because when I was searching tie-dye Converse and all that kind of stuff, I got to be honest with you. When I first got them, I knew they were cool, psychedelic, whatever. I didn't put together the fact that they were Grateful Dead from the bear and everything on the front. So, I searched and like tie-dye Converse, and of course, all these Grateful Dead ones came up, and then I sold similar off the listing, okay? And all the good keywords are there where it's like psychedelic, tie-dye, Grateful Dead, anything that's very important will be on the top listings, okay? So you have to echo off the top listings. It's not ripping off a listing. It's not stealing. It's nothing like that. There's a sell similar button that allows you to sell similar, and I just adjust a couple things in the title, nothing crazy, but I try to keep most of the stuff intact, change the size, upload different pictures, put my own spin on the description, and voila, you have an ad created in less than 1 minute. So there we go. This is not hard work, guys. Like, this is easy money to be made. You just have to trust your instincts, and you have to pull the triggers on things where, the stars line up, okay? So let's go into old school Ace. We have him saying, keep in Austin weird. That's right. Let's go to the next one. Okay. This was kind of before my time. Who actually read these things back in the day? Who read these back in the day? Who even knows what these are? Now, I know what they are because I was reading the more current day versions, or the ones after this. These are the hardback ones, and yeah, these are interesting to say the least. So we got those right there. There they are again. Some other ones, I think it was 6. There was probably more than this. I think this was just I was taking them in groups of 6. So these are Hardy Boys books with the hardback cover. They're very easy to spot because they have a blue spine, and it's a very easy to spot kind of book, and they are out there. E-Money found a really big really big pile of them not too long ago and put them on eBay, and I want to say they sold for pretty decent money, like 80 to 100 bucks or something crazy like that. So these Hardy Boys books, along with the other ones that I found, these went to a box, and I put these in my booth, and they sold for like 27, I want to say, or something like that. Anyway, they were like dirt cheap. It was like, I think I paid like 5. So, if I take $5 and I put something in the booth, and within 3 months it's gone for 27, and then the booth is going to take 10% of that, so 270 is gone. So they're going to cut me a check for $24.70 or something around there, right? I might have done my math wrong, or $24.30. Either way, that's pretty good to me. If I'm playing stocks and I make a bet on a $5 stock and it sells for $27 later, I'm going to be like, well, why didn't I buy 1,000 shares of it, right? So, you got to look back. You got to look down to the ratios of everything. And of course, it's no different than a trade in the stock market. It's a good trade, and I did it. So these are nice things to look for. If you guys ever find these Hardy Boys books with the blue spines, buy all of them and try to get out of there as fast as possible. Leave. Let's talk about the next find. This also made it in my booth. These are just old style telephones, right? If you have an antique booth, this is pretty much good stuff to hustle right here. When you start finding them in the very interesting colors, where it's like vibrant red, or even the nasty pea greens or whatever, like the refrigerators were back in the day, then those have some pretty decent value as well. But this is just a normal little rotary dial telephone, black. In the booth, this has a resale of about 24 or 24ish, and I try to pick them up for $3 or less anytime I see them. I don't care if they're tested or untested. It doesn't matter to me. These things are sold. People that make movies in Austin come to the booth, come to the antique mall just to buy things, whether it's license plates for the cars that are going to be in the scene, or things that are props that are going to be in the movie. And this is definitely, it's not uncommon to see movie producer people there, or scouts, finding stuff for their movies. And this is definitely something that would be on a movie, something like that. Or someone, coffee table piece, maybe. Who knows? Stranger Things, that's right. It's a really good show, by the way. If you guys get a chance to see it, an amazing show. So yeah, $3 less, and I'm selling it for about 24-ish or something like that. Stop the screen share, see how everyone's doing. Guys liking the show. I tell you what, if you do like the show, hit me up with the like. All right. And while I'm at it, I'm also going to show you guys, if you're going to have fun garage selling and finding finds and all that kind of stuff, you're going to have to at least get on board with the Green Room's free guide. 100 amazing items to resell. Right, it's sitting down below. The link is sitting right there. It's in the description. Get this guide, put it on your phone, study up for the weekend, because you know what? You're gonna find some good stuff. Very easy to do what I do, okay? And quite honestly, when I started doing what I was doing, I started with bikes, and then I progressed into sporting goods, lake-related goods, things that I had true passions for. And then I started messing around with a bunch of smalls and this and that. And a lot of the things that we've messed with, you know, the admins, we've put into that guide, and it's a lot of fun. But it's not like it's, you know, it's just a study guide. It's material that if you study it, you know, you're priming your mind to find it in the field. It's very important. So, you know, back in the day when there was no university, there's no Facebook groups, there was nothing, right? Like the only way I could prime my mind was to physically go into stores and hold things and touch things and learn about things. And then I would get on eBay completeds and study things. And it just took forever, you know, but that's how I kind of did it. And plus I had a very vast knowledge of things back in the day. My dad always taught me, you know, how to spot quality and what's quality, what's not. You know, I've always been up to date with, you know, I don't know, random stupid things, whether it be video game culture or why there's such an intense following with people that buy Jeeps, for example, and Toyota trucks. I mean, I like looking at that kind of stuff. I'm a guy, and I just like that stuff. So when I come across things like that in the field, I was naturally kind of good at the game. But when it came to studying up, I found myself doing a very long-winded process. And so, like I said, back in the day, there were no guides and there were no Facebook groups that had great people that would help, you know. So I had to learn it all on my own. And I mean, it's built me into an incredible hustler that I am today. But it's like I kind of wish I'd known about it sooner. I mean, let's face it. I'm not being. That's just the reality that matters. Just like, why wait that long if you don't have to, guys? So anyway, let's go into hey, are you guys having fun on the show? By the way, let me know what is going on. Are you guys having fun? Brooke Hayes, Bonafide, where do I buy your vans? I've been watching like 10 listings on eBay now, thanks to loving yours and videos. My vans were bought from, let me think real quick here. My vans were bought at the antique mall. No, at the antique mall. What am I talking about? They were bought at the, what am I talking? Okay. The outlet, sorry. That's where I keep thinking antique mall because I've been talking about antique mall. But no, they were bought at the outlet stores back on Black Friday. I bought a bunch. I bought a whole bunch of vans. And Black Friday, I bought the American versions. I bought I like the checker ones a whole lot. So I bought blue and black checkers. I bought America flag checker ones. I bought Hawaiian ones. I bought stuff from Converse store, but all of that all went to FBA. I bought some stuff from Reebok store. That all went to FBA. So anyway, yeah, the outlet stores are pretty cool, but you're going to have to, I mean, the sizes are kind of weird. Like you have to kind of be there on the right day or just be lucky. So anyway, let's get back into the, oh, by the way, if you want to find really incredible vans, just go to the van store. Only problem is there's really no deals at the van store, and any low cut vans, that's the style I like. Low cut with no laces is going to start at like 60 bucks. So, you know, every now and then treat yourself to something good. I mean, at least once a month, get something good, treat yourself. And it doesn't have to be anything like, oh, you know, $100 steak dinner, none of that. Like, you know, if you treat yourself and you spend, you know, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, just don't be afraid to treat yourself. It's very important to get some reward for the hard work that you're doing every month. Okay. Let's talk about the next thing. Let me go screen share it to the next thing. Let's get back into here and let's get away from this phone. So now you know about the phone, right? Everyone knows about the phone. Let's go here. Would you guys hustle this or not? Tell me. Would you guys hustle this? Do you guys know what this is? Tell me. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Thriftology, by the way, I actually wear a size 12. If you feel like buying me some Vans, then please do. Okay, so yes, we have clearing clutter for clarity. Depends on the brand. Board shorts. Okay, so I'll tell you why these aren't board shorts. Who knows why these aren't board shorts, for example? They're a little bit different than board shorts, but you know, you can wear them in the water, of course, and they do have a lining for all your junk. Whoops. They do have a lining for all your precious materials to not go swinging away like a bridge on a windy day, right? So yeah, that's in there as well. Don't worry, guys and gals. We'll get to that material so you can see it closely. These are Patagonia shorts. These are more of like hiking or trekking. They're everything shorts. That's right. They're more for everything. And the reason is there's a little pull strap up here. Okay, there's a pull strap at the top, and let's go to the next picture. There's Patagonia. It's a very important kind of thing to zoom in on. All right. So yeah, get a picture of that. Oh, there's that lining. Whew, looks good. No stainage. My kind of lining, right? But we can tell this is worn because if you look at the tag, all right, up here, then it's all curled up. So it definitely has been through heat, dry, or whatever. Yes, it's like a hiker short. It's basically like it honestly is like a hiker short. In fact, more so than a bathing suit because it has that pull string, as you can see at the bottom right of this picture. It has a pull string mechanism that is almost never found on bathing suits. But yeah, it can go in the water, of course. It has lining there so you can be minimalistic while hiking and keep your body nice and cool. So, but yeah, it is technically more of a hiker's short. So, anyway, there you go. And that's me showing that it's a medium. I should have kept them, but you know what? These things sold for like 40 bucks, like really nicely on eBay. There you go. I mean, it kind of surprised me because I was like, okay, these are going to be selling for like 30 or 25 bucks. And no, it sold for a lot more than that. So I believe I bought these for $8 at a Goodwill. So it's a solid 20 in my pocket once all the shipping's out of the question. I mean, out of the equation and everything. It's pretty good for me. Let's talk about the next item here. We have a Nolan helmet. Now, who knows what Nolan is really well known for? Nolan makes a certain type helmet. Who knows what that is? In the chat right now. You guys are going to be learning so much through these videos. And like I said, if you enjoy them or if you want more of these, the most important thing you can do is just hit the like button. Because as soon as I see a show that gets like, 100 likes or 200 likes and like 5 dislikes or, something, it's real obvious to me that people enjoy one type show versus another. And when I mean type, it's a certain structure of the show, whether it be ride along or instructional or funny or something like that. So let's talk about that. Nikki Gardner, Joseph Bayman, Wisconsin Thrift. So Nolan makes a certain type helmet that is, current day, and it's the flip style. Okay, so it's almost like 2 helmets in one. And just remember that brand Nolan. This one's in, I would say 5 out of 10 condition because it has chips on it. And as you can see, it still looks like a normal helmet, so not a big deal. Blah blah blah. Still looks normal. And then if you turn it over, or if you look on the underside, you're going to see a little red tab on each side. And if you pull the red tabs or actually press one of the sides, then the helmet goes up. And you can see why I said it's 5 out of 10 condition because, it's got some chips and stuff. So yeah, it's a flip up style helmet, Nolan flip helmet. So those are very important things you want in your title. Motorcycle, Nolan flip. Definitely, if you don't have the word flip, then what a sin, that listing is put under. Basically, you got to put that name flip. And then the inside of it, not the greatest. It's got, it definitely needs some love. So when it comes to the mistakes, here's one of them, okay? This one right here, I actually ended up donating back to a Goodwill, I want to say, or a Savers. And it's just one of those things like in town, because the interior was trashed, I probably got this for like nothing, like really nothing at a garage sale, probably $1. And I decided to take a swing, and who cares? $1 went into the trash. In fact, the $1 probably got returned to me to like $3 because I got a 30% off coupon out of it or some sort of coupon. And then I used that on some other purchase where I saved money. So really my $1 probably got multiplied to 3, but not 20 or 25 or 30 like I thought it was going to be. A 5 out of 10 condition Nolan helmet just isn't the type you want to be looking for. You got to be looking for, that 8 or 9 out of 10. You got to be looking for brighter colors. They're known to have yellow ones and really nice red ones. So this is kind of a dull color, right? But it's a flip style, but still, that interior is roached. You don't want to be messing with roached interior when it comes with helmets, especially if it's roached and it's like falling apart into like what looks like the remnants of Captain Crunch cereal box, right? You don't want that, okay? So very important. Hope you learned something from this video regarding that helmet right there. Great brand, okay? but I failed at the condition of this one right here, assessing it. Of course, when I fail, it's always very little money usually lost. And when I win, it's usually a lot of money being gained. So, hey, that's the goal right there, right? Let's go with Joseph Bayman's comment, which is look for Arai or Shoei. He's talking about other brands of helmets that are really, really good, whether it be, when we're dealing with motorcycle helmets, and there can be a huge, there's not that there could be, there absolutely is a very big market with motorcycle helmets, but you're going to have to pick the right ones. So very ornate. And I would say if you stick with these brands, it really wouldn't matter if it's plain as in one color or ornate as in graphics and, crazy things. Maybe it's like a spray painted Joker or a Tyrannosaurus Rex or an American flag or like a screaming eagle. I mean, either way, if you deal with these brands that I'm about to tell you, you're going to do pretty well. So his first brand is going to be Arai, just like Joseph Bayman is saying, trying to help us out here. Thanks, Joseph. Shoei, Shoei, very important brand. I have made a lot of money from Shoei helmets, not even funny. There are two more other brands I want to let you know about. One is called AGV. AGV is a really good one too, and they're known for having really cool helmets and specifically Italian colors inspired helmets. And then there's another one called Suomi, Suomy, which really has some nice helmets, very comparable to Arai or Shoei's upper line. Suomi has really, really nice stuff. So if you get a chance and you want to do some helmet research tonight, Arai, Arai, really good. Shoei, Shoei, AGV, which is just AGV. And then there's one called Suomi, Suomy. So hope you guys find some of those. Let's continue with the show. Here we have a longboard. Who knows about this brand? I gotta tell you, I actually own two of this brand. I have owned two longboards from this brand. The brand is Loaded, okay? So who knows about this brand right here? Who even longboards skateboards? Like, let me ask you that. And who even knows why this is called a Loaded? Why did Loaded call their brand Loaded? So I'm gonna give you guys a little tutorial, a little explanation on this because I know pretty much the story of this one. Let me know. I want to see if there's any remarks coming in the comment feed. We'll look at some of these pictures real quick. And if you're wondering what camera is taking these pictures, I think it's my Sony NEX F3, which is a 16.1 megapixel camera, almost SLR based. It's really nice. And I try to have non-distracting backgrounds on my eBay stuff. You can just see right here. This is a classic example of a non-distracting background. So, shot at evening time, which is back in the day, 2013 days, I was notorious for taking a lot of evening pictures because in the evening you get the best light of all. You can see everything, every dent, crack, scuff, whatever, So, Kent Daigle, I have a boosted board. Okay, so boosted is basically the electric version that you see Casey Neistat riding around. Boosted also paired up with Loaded. Loaded boards are boosted boards, or boosted boards have Loaded as their primary chassis, and then they put the electronics on a Loaded deck. So Loaded is a brand of skateboards. They only deal with bamboo, okay? And bamboo is extremely flexible. It's extremely energy efficient in the sense that this board is called Loaded because if you know how to load the board, which means putting your body weight into it, usually in the form of a turn, if you know how to load the board will actually spring you out of the turn and give you more energy and actually propel the board forward. So they call it Loaded because of that, because you can actually harness energy from the board if you know how to pump the board correctly. And it took me a little bit of time to learn, but I know how to do it. And it is pretty wild, honestly. Like you can, if you have a flat surface, I can basically show people how to just get a couple kicks done with the board, and I can be self-sufficient riding the board around in a circle for 5 minutes, 10 minutes without any more kicks to the floor or propelling me forward. I know how to load the board myself, and I know how to do it. But if it hadn't been made out of bamboo and it was a maple deck, for example, a 7 or 12 ply maple deck, I wouldn't have been. It's very hard to do it because those don't bend that much. But these Loaded boards bend. You can actually jump on the middle of this board. And if you jump hard enough, you can make the middle of the board hit the floor and then it'll come right back to normal. It's really nuts, actually. So Now, when you're dealing with a loaded board, there's always a number in the middle. It's usually in a blue square, kind of like what you see right there. Kind of looks like a Scrabble tile. And that is a flex rating. So when you're selling the board, this number tile, this flex rating right here, it says flex right below it. There's probably the board that we're looking at right here is probably their most successful line of boards. It's called a dervish. And a dervish is just, they're all around probably best board besides this one called a Tan Tien. And they're just very sought after boards. I mean, I would venture to say that 50 or 60% of all the boards that they sell are gonna be dervishes or Tan Tiens, maybe even more, maybe 70%, because that is just kind of like industry standard when it comes to whoever buys loaded. I mean, they're just really, really good boards. I can tell you right now, these are very, very, very good boards. I own 2 of them, and they're amazing. Emerson, my brother, owns another one as well. These are really, really fun boards. And yes, I did pay full price for mine because it was nearly impossible to find it. But once I learned how amazing this board was, all right, it led me to get on Craigslist and start hustling people's boards. And, you know, dervishes were really cutting edge back in the day, and they're still really good today, but there are some rival companies now that are, you know, what they're also known for is they use clear grip tape on top, so you can actually see the bamboo, and it's real beautiful. They have what's called drop-through trucks, which means that the trucks drop through the top of the board. See, there's a hole in the wood, and the trucks drop through it, and they anchor through the bottom. So there you can see the drop-through trucks. It's not like a normal skateboard where it's just mounted on the bottom. These actually drop through the trucks, I mean, through the board itself, and that's how they anchor. Anytime you're taking pictures of a longboard, you're going to want to take the fronts, the backs. You know, these aren't all the pictures I ever listed the thing with, but this one did get sold on, I want to say, eBay for $200, and I bought it off a kid in campus for, I want to say, 80, if I'm not mistaken. And the shipping was likely close to 25 bucks or something because it has one really long dimension, so that obviously destroys shipping a little bit, but still worth my time completely. I knew all about it. There you go. So Flex 1, Flex 2, Flex 3, Flex 4. This is something you want to put down because if the guy that's looking at buying it is 130 pounds, you know, he might be a Flex 1. If he's like my weight, I'm a Flex 2 or a Flex 3, right? And that's where the flexes come in. There's just different flexes of bamboos that they use. And a Flex 4, I want to say, or maybe a Flex 1 is the highest one. Either way, but you know, there's definitely different flexes on these boards. And if you ever see one out in the garage sale, as you can see right here, it says Dervish right there next to the loaded mini letters. It's upside down, but it does say Dervish. So very popular boards to hustle. On top of that, the trucks on this board were really good. These are called Bear. So these Bear trucks are really good as well. Let's talk about the last, I think this is the last thing, right? No, one more thing. Okay. So are you guys having fun on this show? If you are, please hook up the like button. Let me see how many people are actually live watching right now. 52 people are watching. Thanks for coming by. And the show is really just about looking at previous pictures that I've done and teaching you guys through previous hustles how to do it. So, okay. This one right here, who knows what this is? This, if you don't know this, gosh, I don't know what to tell you. This is definitely in our 100 Amazing Items to Resell book. If I'm not mistaken, I think this made the cut. Yeah, so this is the pinnacle of jogging strollers. Everyone should know about this brand. Please tell me you know about this brand. And if you don't know about this brand, after this program, you're going to know about this brand and you're going to start noticing it. Noticing this stroller everywhere around town, assuming you have an active town, right? What's up, Top Dog Deal? I'm in the comments right now. I'm looking at the comments. Good to see everyone, you know, talking. Bonafide, could you make your own boards? I could. It would just, I don't know. I've thought about it, but I got other plans for what I want to make down the road. Okay, so this is a Bob stroller, guys. This is a Bob Stroller Revolution SE, and there are different models that Bob makes. There's an Ironman model, which doesn't have a swivel front wheel. Look, guys, when you're buying a Bob stroller, okay, there are a couple things you're going to want to test. Can you guys see my mouse right now? Let me know if you can see the mouse, because the mouse is very important in what I want to teach you. So if you can see the mouse moving around, please let me know. So I'm going to move it around. I'm going to spell a letter right now. Tell me what letter I'm spelling if you can see the mouse. What letter am I spelling? That way I know you're definitely seeing the mouse. Someone tell me the letter. No, it's not X. I'll tell you where there we go. Cheryl Ann saw an N. Thanks. Okay, cool. It is an N. So, all right. Thank you so much, Cheryl Ann. It probably looked like an X because I was going like this and I was coming down this way. Okay, I get it. So it could be an X or an N, guys. Cool. Okay, so when you're dealing with a Bob stroller, that can be daunting because I'm telling you why. Because usually when you pop on a Bob stroller, you're at least going to be sacrificing what seems to be in the vicinity of about $50 to $150, like pretty quickly, because when you deal with good condition ones, they're going to cost a little bit of money. Okay, that's just the way it is. So here they have two models that you really want to be looking for. Okay, and the one's called the Revolution, the other one's called the Revolution SE. The Revolution SE has a little bit more padding right here. As you can see, you see this raised padding. If you looked at the Bob Revolution models, they don't really have that. It's a little bit more basic of a stroller, but they look almost identical. Like if you were to see a Revolution and Revolution SE, you'd be like, geez, they look exactly alike, but subtle differences, guys. And you'd have to know that they actually worked on the padding on the SE models versus the non-SE. So this is a Bob stroller. It's a folding stroller, okay? It's a jogging stroller. Active people would be really interested in this. And you want to make sure that when you're popping on baby strollers, especially in the Bob brand, guys, like look at this front wheel right here, okay? Swivel front wheel, so important, okay? Swivel front wheel, very important. Plastic mag wheels, super important, okay? Super important because they have some Bob strollers that have the wire type wheels, the spoke type wheels with actual, metal. I'm not so hot into those, right? The market wants these. All the little, moms and everything, they want to get a good stroller that looks cool and performs well, and it's a little bit lighter than some of the other ones that they've made back in the day. So swivel front wheel, very important. Mag wheels, very important. Assess the condition of the stroller itself. Looks very good. And also, let me tell you guys something, another thing. The Bob Revolution SE has a plastic triangle up here, and a Bob Revolution will have a piece of canvas up here that is always the same color, usually as, I want to say, this right here on the side. So if you're wondering, like, what the hell is this thing on the side? It looks like it's a place where you can put a suitcase. It's not. It's where it's a reclinable baby seat. I mean, the baby can sit upright. If you tension these little straps, they can sit more upright. Or if you want the baby to like really be super reclined, then you would loosen these straps on the side. If you're wondering, like, why is this thing dangling in the back? That looks like it's going to something, but it's not. So when the stroller is closed, all right, this part, which is the handles, it flips all the way over to here, and then the wheels kind of suck up in there, and then this attaches to something on the bottom that keeps it all closed and it doesn't open like in the car while you're running around or something like that. And if I'm not mistaken, there can also be like a jogging leash that you can like attach to this as well. So that's the Bob stroller. It also has a sun guard, right, which has a 1/3, 2/3, and fully kind of enclosed setting, which I'll show you here in a second. Let's go to the next picture and learn some more about this Bob. Here we have the next picture, and it's just showing you nitty gritty. The Bob stroller is really cool because it has suspension on the sides, very neat. And while this might look like, oh, that looks like adjustable, something, it's not. It's when you fold the stroller, this suspension pivot actually travels to a more compressed position. So this doesn't mean you can, have the ability to adjust anything. No, this is just where the thing moves when you fold it together. You put the kid in there, and you put that, through the middle of the kid, and then all kinds of little, kind of almost looks like it almost looks like a racing car, right? Like they're getting strapped into a racing car. It's like a 5-point harness kind of thing. Anyway, that's what kid sits in. Those are the mag wheels, and as you can see, this is in very good condition. I mean, we still have the center line very evident here. It's pumping up very nicely, and it's in really good condition. We know this. Here's the swivel front wheel. Looks real good. So the swivel front wheel has a little red tab. Let me see if I can find it in a picture or something. No, you can't see it in any of these pictures. Let me see in this one. No, it's on the other side. So there's a little red tab on the other side of here. All right, there's a little red tab, and that tab decides whether this wheel in the front becomes swiveling or fixed. All right. So every time you see the little red tab in the front, which you don't see in these pictures, but it's right above this thing. So you can have a fixed front wheel, which is great if you're doing long distance jogging or 3K, 5Ks, you know, like then you're going to want a fixed wheel. But when you're in the supermarket, you want to turn aisles and you want to go down to, you know, then you have to go to CVS, then you have to maneuver through a tight parking lot. You want the wheel to be able to swivel so you can make tight turns. So then you would have to flip that little red switch and everything like that. Then the wheel gets all, you know, it can swivel around. Now, if you're looking at this and you're like, what the hell is this little rotational knob thing, Bonafide? Tell me about that thing. All right. So this thing is like the alignment on a car. If you rotate it one way, the stroller, if you push it while the wheel is fixed, the stroller will track in a certain direction. If you rotate it the other way, the stroller tends to track in the other direction. So if you get that right kind of in the middle, then the stroller tracks completely straight. And that's what that is for. That is a tuning key to make sure that the stroller tracks straight. Just so you know. All right. More pictures of the Bob. There we go. As you can see, the seating is really, really, you know, it's nice. This thing kind of looks like a spaceship, you know. This is, you know, I bet you when I was born, my parents probably put me in one of these, and that's where I got the spaceship term was, because this looks like the cockpit of an SR-71 Blackbird, and I'm about to go Mach 5 and yeah, decimate all these garage sales. It's in fully open condition. We can see all this, and it's really nice. You can see the harness position and everything. Looks really good. I've seen some funny comments in the feed, and I'll read them here in a second. You know, the exterior is a very interesting type of nylon fabric, which, you know, if it has stains, then you can scrub them out and then hose it down. This says Revolution SE right here. All the Revolution SEs are going to have the tag on the side. And here we go. This is the thing fully enclosed. So pretty cool, right? And if you want to actually fold up the entire Bob, you take this thing all the way back, and then these little handles, you see these little handles? You have to hit them both at the same time. All right, so you click them up like you're, you know, like you're squeezing your fists. All right, and then you throw this. Oh no, you click them up. You throw this thing all the way forward, and then if you look underneath, there's gonna be a red handle. And as soon as you pull that red handle, everything kind of just goes down to like a very collapsed stroller. So very, very cool. Yeah. So the actual price on these things in real life are between $360 and $440 for a stroller like this. Now you probably get where the resale is coming from. So if you're gonna buy this thing out there, guys, you know, and you're pretty terrified, you're like, oh my God, someone's got one in the garage sale for 150. Look, try to talk down to 120 or something. If it's in a really, really amazing condition and it's a Revolution SE, which you got to think is the better model, then you're gonna want to, yeah, 120 for a Revolution SE, posted on Craigslist for 250. Boom, you've made 130 bucks. If it's a Revolution model and it's a little, let's say, sun faded or whatever, yeah, you're talking getting closer to the 50-80 range and reselling it for like 150. You know, I think the lowest Bob I ever sold was like 120, and I popped on it for like 50 bucks, something like that, maybe even less. In fact, no, I did find one for way less at a Goodwill one time. I want to say it was $25, and I popped on a Sunday evening, and that one was the one that sold for 120. So, you know, there's money in Bob strollers, and there you go, B-O-B, it's on the front. Let me get to some of these funny comments here. Darren Eckelman, boy, I'm smart. I'll tell you why. So Darren Eckelman says, Bonafide, you may need one of those soon. I see fatherhood around the corner. You are married now, LOL. The funny thing is, Darren, is I kept the most mint Bob stroller I could ever find, and it's actually in my attic. Yes. So yes, I am 100% agreeing with what you just said. I do have an amazing Bob Revolution SE, black on black on black, sitting in my attic. It's just sitting there. It's amazing. So I got it for 100 bucks somewhere. So I was like, all right, you know what? Forget it. I'll just throw it up in the attic, and it's just sitting there. So Ken Daigle says, LOL. Cheryl Ann, when he has kids, he will throw his kids a bike day one. Hey, maybe. Yeah, Kent Daigle looks like a baby Batmobile. That's right. So anyway, I hope you guys are having fun in this show. I mean, look, it's a more relaxed type show, but at the same time, let's let it. I really, really love teaching people how to make money. So yeah, it's a sweet diecast boy said it's a black on black Bob stroller. Guys, I'm telling you, my kids are going to join the Yakuza gang, and they're going to be Yakuza like straight up, man. They're going to be all tatted up and they're going to be all involved with really terrible things, but they will have the coolest murdered out stroller in the entire neighborhood. That is for sure. So thanks, Kent Daigle. I really appreciate it. Last thing we're going to talk to you guys about today is this right here. If I'm not mistaken, I got these for $5 or less. Maybe it was $2. I mean, it was really cheap. You know, it's really obvious why I took this picture, right? So let's take a look at that. I mean, these were dirt cheap. Very obvious why I took this picture, because I wanted to zone in on this one cut. But these are typical lumberjack / hiking boots. All right. The style is very important because they are very weathered. They're very amazing looking. Like if you're a dude in Seattle or Oregon, or, you know, and you're just a little hipster dude and you just want that last thing to like complete your look. I mean, gosh, like why buy new and try to attempt to weather it yourself when you can just buy weathered, amazing goods from the Bonafide Hustler store, right? So these I had in my antique booth for a while. These are actually this brand right here. There we go. Redwing Irish Setter Sport Boot, okay? Stamped Redwing. If you didn't know that was there, you would fly right past it, right? Okay, now that I think about it, I don't know if these were the ones in my booth or not. They might have been. Either way, if these weren't in my booth, these would sell on eBay for 80 plus pretty much all day long, okay? But if these happen to be the ones in my booth, I might have see that this was like back in 13, and now the style has grown pretty crazy. Like the style and the market for these is just getting kind of nuts. Like it's actually gotten better. So I want to say 57 or so back in the day, but I think I'm still thinking these are the ones that sold for 80, because the ones that sold for 57 were a little bit different style, especially in this toe region. So yeah, these are definitely lumberjack. So the key words you want to use, guys, is lumberjack, steel. You don't want to put steel toe if it's not steel toe, but definitely lumberjack, brawny. You want to put very manly type terms in there. Work, you could put motorcycle, because people ride motorcycles with these all the time too. And those are very important keywords to have in your title. Okay, I'm not talking about in the description. I'm talking about title. And they're nice, you know. They're amazing condition, Vibram undersoles. I mean, look at the condition of that leather. I mean, that's something that is really built really nicely. And of course, no surprise, it's Redwing. That is, you know, this one right here. Now, I don't know if now that they've split apart from the Irish Setter kind of thing or not, because I found a pair of Irish Setters the other day, and has nothing of Redwing like anywhere on it. So I don't know if they're still affiliated with the Irish Setter thing or not. But yeah, that's a really big, nice score right there. So yeah, and like I said, I mean, as long as this little, you know, motorcycle thing starts getting crazier and crazier with people with tattoos and flannel shirts, and then you got the people that want to look like they wrench on motorcycles, and they little hipster dudes, you know, that want to look outdoorsy, but they're pretty much not. You know, they love this style, so the style is growing. Honestly, if I'd be lying to tell you that this style is not like very much alive right now. There are a lot more groups looking at these type of boots and that want them. So yes, there you go. That is the last official picture that we have on the Bonafide 12 items that sold for good cash show. So this is the unfortunate part of the show where I have to say goodbye, but it's good to see everyone. I look forward to talking to you guys live again this week. Friday, there's going to be a garage sale, like garage sale to profit kind of show. And no, actually, that might be Thursday, because I think Friday I'm going to be on the lake. But Thursday, there's going to be a garage sale show that you guys have to tune in on. It's definitely amazing. There's 2 episodes already on my channel. So we're going to be wrapping up the 3rd one. The style I kind of do that show is I do 3 questions, or I do 3 amazing tips and explain them all the way out. And then I have a Q&A session at the end. So I think you're really going to enjoy it. And I think some of the people here already have seen the show, and they know the caliber of the content that's on it, and it's really strong and it's good. So definitely tune into that. If I get a second tomorrow, I really want to do a bike show, you know, something. I just want to make you guys some money. Like, it's very important for me to divulge information so that you guys not only know that I'm very serious about like what I do, but so that you guys can make money and you guys can figure out and go, you know what, like that guy knows what he's talking about. He knows exactly what he's talking about. He made me money. And yeah, you know, like I trust them, right? And that's very important for me, whether it might be my next business venture or what down the road, or maybe the workout thing. It's important that you understand the kind of caliber of individual that I am through these videos, and that I really have an intense passion for flipping this kind of stuff. And, I really want to teach it. Why waste it, and why keep it all, together and never share it with anybody? It's important that everyone knows about it. And it's important that, that you guys get a better chance than I did in the game, right? Because I didn't have anyone helping me out whatsoever. I didn't have any mentors, none of that stuff. There was no green room. There was nothing. All right, and I had to do all this on my own. And so it's just me. I don't know, in a charity sense, giving back a little bit, right? So while I'm at it, before you guys leave, check out the guide. All right, this doesn't have much to do with bikes whatsoever, but it has a lot of things that you're going to find in garage sales in this guide. It's free. All right, down below there's a link how to get it. Super easy to do. All right, so there you go. Get that thing right there. And please tune in this week when you see the bike show. Try to join in if you can. And Thursday for sure, there's gonna be that garage sale to profit show. You're gonna love it. And of course, tomorrow on the Green Room Hangout, which is Wednesday evening on Rakin's channel, we have Mr. John Dugan, Resale Rabbit, talking to us about his new warehouse and how his FBA business is doing and all this kind of stuff. He cleared 40K in sales this month, and he's doing pretty good, and dude, this guy's doing some serious FBA damage. So I want you to check out that show as well. If you like the show, most important thing, guys, and I'm actually going to go hit a mountain biking trail like right now. I'm serious. I hear my phone blowing up. That's my wife. I have to go get her bike rigged up. But most important thing, hit the like button. And that way I'll see weeks from now, like, this is a show that I have to continue. I still plan to do this show next week, but if we're not getting much responses from it, I'll move on to another show. It's good to see you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.